Okay, I want to do a quick little video to explain something to you. Um, a lot of people ask, why do I can? Here's why. This shelf up here was full. I don't know what you're doing up there. Oh, I have another thing of carrots. I didn't see it. This up here was full of quart-size potatoes, green beans, beef tips, green beans, carrots, and several types of dried beans. I have pintos, kidneys, and chickpeas. I have stewed tomatoes. I have tomato sauce, and then pickles and all sorts of stuff. What is that? Oh, that's some more tomato soup. Okay, this is why I can. None of this was hurt because we were without power for 4 days at all. Yes, you can keep potatoes on hand. Yes, you can keep green beans on hand, and you can keep dried beans on hand. Pinto beans on the stove take about 4 hours to cook. When you don't have power and you're running by a generator or you're running by gas, dried beans take a long time to cook unless they're canned. I can pull this off the shelf, and in the time a pot of rice is cooked and I heat these up, I've got dinner. My potatoes up there, yeah, potatoes don't take long to cook. But these, drain them, put them in a skillet with a little bit of butter and toss them, and you've got potatoes that you can eat just like that, or you can eat with, you can mash them, and it's really relatively very quick. And you don't need a whole lot of power. These beef tips, all you gotta do, pour those out in a pan, add a little, whatever you thicken it with. I thicken it with cream or sour cream, but you can put a little cornstarch in it and thicken it up, and you have a dinner in about 10 minutes, and you've not used a whole lot of power. This is my collection up here. I have several types of pasta. I have all of my staples up here, and they're in jars. This is funny. I don't know if you noticed, but there's several different types of beans in this jar. When I'm canning beans and I have just a handful left of any particular kind, they go in this jar. There's every kind of bean you can imagine. And when that jar gets full, I'll cook a pot of beans. But I have Great Northern beans. I have, why in the world I bought self-rising cornmeal, I don't know. But that's what's in that jar. Eventually I'll use it. But I have chickpeas, lentils, black-eyed peas, kidney beans, Great Northern beans, wild rice, and several types of quinoa. Which means I can live in my house without having to run a stove, which is going to heat the house up for a long time. I know a lot of people say, have 50 pounds of dried beans and rice and all this on hand, which is a good idea. It really is a good idea. But if you are in a 100-degree weather with just one room with an AC with a generator, you don't want to use a hot plate and heat up your kitchen for 4 hours to cook a pot of beans to feed your family. This is why I can. This right here is why I can. And it's going to, as soon as this mess is over, I'm going to have to restock. But just to let you know, 20 pounds of potatoes will do, I think, 12 quart jars. And it takes me approximately 2 hours to do it. The canner's doing most of it during that time. I'm still good on beans. I have beans here. I have beans on my, I don't know what I was thinking. A bushel of beans, people, goes a long, long way. I even still have beans down here. But for a quick meal also, This I made, it's stewed tomatoes. It has tomatoes and celery and onion and bell pepper and some spices in it. It's real easy to can. Real easy to can. But you take and mix some spaghetti up. Cook some spaghetti till it's tender. Put this in a skillet and heat it, and then mix that together, and you got a pretty good meal. So, just saying. A lot of people ask, hey, I got another thing of... Oh, I had another thing of meat back there. But I'm out of chicken, and I'm out of fish. But I don't think I'll ever keep meat, very much meat, in the freezer again. It's down here in Southeast Texas, it's just not worth it. So, but this is really, really good. This is really, really good when you heat it up. You've got beef tips that taste like you have cooked them on the stove or in your crock pot for a while. And I know a lot of you have Instapots. I got that. I even have one. They're not a bad idea. But you still, once you put it all in there, you're probably 30 minutes to an hour of whatever you put in there to putting dinner on the table. I can put dinner on the table for a family of 5. Meat, potatoes, and a vegetable in less than 15 minutes. And I've not used a whole lot of power to do it. So, these are... I haven't eaten these yet. I don't know if they're hot. I don't know. Someone gave me some peppers, and I just canned them. And, oh, they're so pretty. I guess is one reason why I haven't opened them. They're so pretty. These were Mom's favorites. They're canned beets. She loved beets. This is interesting. This is a relish, and it has zucchini, daikon radishes, and carrots in it. And I didn't like it. I opened a jar about a week after I canned it. And yeah, it's okay. But then we opened another jar a while back after it had been sitting on the shelf for about 3 or 4 months. Oh, my God. You put a spoon of that over your pinto beans. So good. This is the same thing. I just diced it really small. Gotta make more relish. That's all. Deborah, you did not put what was on that. This is a mistake, because now I don't know if it's dill or sweet. I think it's dill. But anyway, I didn't do any more jams and jellies or pickles this year. I don't know why. I still have quite a bit. These are zucchini pickles, and oh, are they good. That's a zucchini, not a cucumber. And oh, talk about good. But anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know where we were, why it's a good idea to can. I've taught several people in the last year how to can, and it's a good idea. You know, on one afternoon, you can can enough food to last your family for 6 weeks if the power goes out. You know, or in the millennials' words, until the zombies show up. Zombies being the government. But I got to get in here and rearrange this. They've gotten all miscombobulated. What is that? Pintos. Okay. And I really love chickpeas. I never knew anything about chickpeas. But I really like chickpeas. These are good to drain them and rinse them and put them on your salad. It's really good. One thing I learned about pinto beans, though, and I didn't do it in all of my other ones that I canned, but I did it in this one, and I don't like it. I've got one more jar, so yay. But don't put Italian seasoning, you know, the dried Italian seasonings. Don't put it in there before you can it. The longer it sits, it kind of gets a wank taste. It's just not a... It's not bad, it just has a funny taste to it. So, and dried beans, homemade dried beans, when you can them, when you take these out, rinse them. And put them in a pan with a little bit of fresh water, because that starchy stuff that comes off of them, it's okay, but I'm not a fan of it. But these are so good. Take a couple of slices of bacon and put it in your pot and fry it until it's crisp and crumble it. Don't pour the grease out. Rinse these beans and pour them over in that and let them reheat in that. Son, that and a slice of cornbread and a little bit of relish. That's good eating. Y'all have a good day.